Do you ever feel like your coaching session is just wandering all over the place?
That's not exploration, that's drifting.
Coaching without a clear agreement is like wandering a city without a map. You might see some interesting things, but you'll probably miss the destination. Today, we're exposing what happens when coaching sessions drift and why clients end up feeling lost instead of transformed.
Today, we're going to look at what it looks like, why it's a problem, why coaches do it, and the alternative.
Let's dive in. This is going to be a fun
Yeah,
topic today.
it is, right? All right, the session tourist. So, first of all, I love that phrase. How many times do you feel like you're wandering around in a coaching session with your client? And why don't you tell us, Dan, a little bit about like what does that look like?
It's when we're with a client and we've never set the reason that we're talking today. And the conversation just goes all over, and suddenly the coach in the chair has no idea where we are in the session, which is entirely different than being in the unknown and being present. It's just this conversation has no purpose and point. So we're like the friend who just receives the verbal diarrhea. It just comes and comes and comes, and we don't know what to do with it because it's just pieces and parts.
So, is it safe to say that you are saying exploration is not the same as drifting or venting?
No, it is not.
All right.
Exploration is picking a point and following it and seeing where that thread goes, which we might not know, but just being I in the space of there's all this stuff and I don't know what to do with it and it doesn't seem to be connected. That's not a conversation, or at least not a purposeful conversation.
Yeah, and why is this a problem? And we can kind of look at it through why it's a problem through the ICF lens. Uh, Tell me what comes up for you.
I think so. There are two levels to it. If we think of coaching as an industry, and there is a purpose for these conversations that the client is bringing to us because they want a transformation, they want a change in our life, in their lives. If we're not focusing on what what is the person in front of us bringing and what do they need today to be on that, to take the next step forward and understand, we're not serving them. They're paying us for transformation.
And they're only
If
getting a conversation, that, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if you're just letting them drift and vent and there is no real destination, they may have had a really great chat with you, but they didn't leave with any kind of transformation.
exactly. And under the ICF lens, it comes down to core competency three: maintaining agreements, setting and establish what is the purpose of our conversation today. And so as we play with that, let's play with this idea that's in the room right here of the client who vents. If they come in venting and we ask them, what would you like to get out of today? And they say, I just need to vent and get this off my chest. That conversation has now gone to purposeful because they have consciously said, I just want to get it off my chest and vent. That's different than them just coming in and regurgitating everything that's happened to them in the past week or month or 20 years of their
Right,
life.
right. Or like talking about 20 different things going on from that past week. Yeah. And as you said, through the ICF lens, we break that agreement if we don't maintain it. Why do you think coaches do this?
What I see more often than not, and it comes up mostly during early mentoring sessions, and it's a coach who's been getting into that 100-hour range if they're going for their ACC, that having to ask that question, they're not in the muscle memory of typically of asking it. It's like, hi, how you doing today? um, or they might come with their agenda rather than being present with with the client's agenda. So this idea of being too structured, that there's a formality to the sessions, it's free flowing, I'm just here to serve.
Oh, so they're
No,
confusing openness with aimlessness.
yeah, exactly. Boom.
Yeah. And so, I mean, structure doesn't, I feel like a lot of times too, it's there, like you just said, the structure. Well, there's a structure. I don't want to have a structure, but structure doesn't limit the coaching, right? It anchors it. And when you anchor that session, um, you see great things that come out of that. Wouldn't you agree?
I do, because it brings a purposefulness for both to know why we are here in this room today and have both the field of play and ultimately the destination of what the client would like to progress through and reach by the end of the conversation, that then becomes a container for the stepping stones over the entire coaching agreement.
Yeah, and so what is the alternative? I mean, you just kind of named one alternative to um, being in a session that's a session tourist session or drifting, session drifting. What are some other alternatives that you can offer for a coach for why this is more important? And I think of the compass.
Definitely as a compass because it gives us direction. And maybe even the idea of just being here in this moment with no direction to head to yet, but here. And who is paying whom for the session? So, whom should be getting value out of it? Ask the client what is most important to them today. What is on their mind today? What is the next step of the work that they want to do to get toward their ultimate destination at the end of our bigger work together? We need to know where they are, and they sometimes they might need to know where they are because they can be in the fog. And what do we do to help lift the fog? Sometimes it's not even about the next step, it's about lifting the fog as the next step. So there's not a where are we going, it's want to be here but get more clarity.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. All right, so guys, there you have it. That is the session tourist, how to spot it, how to change it, and why sometimes we fall into the trap of doing it. If you're ready to see how powerful clear agreements can be, check out our demo bundle. You'll watch the same coach with the same client on the same topic, but at 3 different levels: ACC, PCC, and MCC. And when you see how the presence of a clear agreement changes everything, it's going to click for you. Check below the link and join us to watch more.
And in the next video, we're tackling another trap: goals gone wrong. When structure turns into a straitjacket, coaching suffers. Stay tuned.